Hey everybody, happy Sunday! We've spent most of the day editing pictures, videos, putting up stuff on the website, and still got some more stuff to put up for our week 3 review, so hopefully by the time you're seeing this, our week 3 Halloween Horror Nights recap will be up and ready to look at, as well as Jock Lindsay's bar review and all kinds of good stuff. Folks ask me often, like how much time does it take to put up videos? I mean, we typically will put up videos that are like 15 minutes, and depending on the level of needing to do edits, probably the least amount of time when you're filming something, unless it's continuous and you want to edit things out, it could be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour or more. The videos that we put up today probably took like 2 hours total to have to edit all of the different pieces, because you don't realize like all the different clips that you end up putting into stuff ends up being like, maybe 300 different types of little clips. It really just, it's mind-boggling when you do these little short, little 5-second things, just how many add up and what needs to be edited around. I wanted to take a break in between editing things and just talk to folks, because I know we've kind of promoted Halloween Horror Nights for the last, weeks on weeks, as well as Mickey's Not So Scary and other events. We spend a lot of time in theme parks, and as a result, we observe a lot of stuff that happens at theme parks. And trust me when I say this, I am not on the payroll of any theme parks or anything, but I do want to talk to folks, because I think that we have an audience out there that we certainly have run into over the last couple of weeks at Halloween Horror Nights that have said that our guides have been really helpful and the videos have been really helpful in attending the events. I wanted to specifically address this kind of, I don't know if rant or riff about Halloween Horror Nights, but you could apply it to other things that happen, whether it's at Walt Disney World or Epcot with the Food and Wine event, etc. But I wanted to try to just talk to you guys a little bit. It's, for lack of a better term, I guess we just want to talk about theme park etiquette. When you go to an event like Halloween Horror Nights, the scare actors are out in the streets or they're in the houses. They get in your face, and they get right up into your face. If you guys have seen any of our videos, you see just how close they get to the camera at times, and the camera is literally just being held like a couple of inches away from my body, so that's how close folks will get to you. They're trained so that they can get up to you in that manner. And there's folks that are dressed in really over-the-top scary outfits, and there's some women that are dressed in more provocative outfits. But no matter what folks are dressed as or how close folks get to you, the number one rule that folks should always observe, and they say this all throughout the parks, there should be no touching of scare actors. We've gone to Halloween Horror Nights for the last 3 weeks, and we've seen quite a few people being escorted out of the park because they can't follow that simple rule. And when I say it's simple, is that folks tend to just all of a sudden slide in and when you like try to put an arm around somebody or grab somebody or push them or something, or try to jump back at somebody. If somebody's scaring you and you're jumping back at them and thinking that you're funny and scaring them back, chances are you're looking at a one-way ticket to be escorted out of the park. And this works both ways, so the scare actors can't touch you either. So if somebody is in a house or in a zone and they're touching you, you should approach. There's managers in every zone, so you look at the scare zones, there's managers that have lanyards with little blue kind of glow lights on them. In the houses, those folks are around almost every corner, and they're there to help the folks that are going through the houses as well. If you think that you are being treated unfairly or unjust, I would sooner talk to one of those folks than taking actions into your own hands. Kind of the second thing is just around the way that folks interact with other folks. One thing is that the scare actors, obviously you guys see us, like there's a ton of selfies. If you go online and search Twitter or Instagram, you do like hashtag HHN25, there's a ton of selfies out there. A lot of the scare zones are big on folks wanting to take pictures and allowing to take pictures. It's up to the actor's discretion whether they want to stop and take a picture or not. You cannot just continually walk along. So if they're walking their patterns or walking around the zone, their job is to scare folks, not to take pictures with people. If you're continually following them with a camera to try to take a picture, you're going to have somebody in a position of authority come over to you and probably tell you to stop and give you a warning before the next step is being asked to leave as well. And we saw that last night when we were walking over towards Springfield where folks were trying to take a picture with one of the scare actors in that zone as well, and the scare actor did not want to cooperate. Which leads me to talking or the further interaction. So when you're talking to folks, we say at the end of our videos, every video, treat others the way you want to be treated. It's not a catchphrase for us. It's the way that I think, we try to live our lives, and hopefully other folks are living their lives. It's kind of a universal message, no matter what religion you are coming from. You want folks to treat you the way that you want to be treated, and that's certainly the way that we try to promote ourselves. But that should carry through when you're going to the parks also. When you see some of these scare actors, we've been in the zones whether we're filming or taking pictures, and listening to just some of the stuff that gets said to some of the folks that are doing their jobs in scare acting. They're there to put on a show for your enjoyment and to make the event enjoyable for everybody. And there's literally thousands of folks that come through the event every night. But we've sat while we're taking pictures and just heard some incredibly mean-spirited things that have been said to folks, whether they're being dressed down or cursed at, or things that you wouldn't say to somebody else in general conversation. So I'm not sure why folks decide that they want to say it to some of the folks that are working at the parks as well. It's not the right thing to do. As far as would you want somebody to say that back to you, you would certainly have a problem with it. And again, most of these folks that are there every year to do scare acting, they're there, the return rate at the park is greater. The last quote I heard was greater than like 80% or more on an annual basis. And these guys come back because they love it. They love entertaining the same way, same level as what we love going to the parks, and that's why we spend so much time there. And for them to love it is not for them to be chastised or dressed down when folks are going through. And trust me, when you're in a big group and you think it's cool, or you're trying to be cool in front of other folks, it's not really that cool to be that person that is treating other people miserably that are working at the parks. The next thing is, and this should be common sense, don't climb on things. We film in our videos a lot of times people that, right next to signs that say do not climb are legit climbing on things. Whether it's like Chief Wiggum's car in Springfield that we've seen, or almost all of the props that are along Central Park in Universal that clearly have signs do not climb, people are always climbing. And I don't know about everybody else, but I always grew up with the rule of folks kind of teaching you when you were a kid, like, would you act that way if you were at home with your mom, in your mom's house? Would you put your feet up on things at your house, or would you do these different things? And generally the answer was always no. Would you talk to your mother that way or your father that way? You show the same type of respect to the places that you go to. Because you certainly don't want to be this person. Or these people. And the last thing that I'm going to say, you're probably going to get the most thumbs down on this video out of any other video that we've ever done. But if you're drinking, do so responsibly. You guys have seen me time and time again do beer reviews, especially around this time of year with pumpkin beers. And we'll be back on that actually shortly. But do it responsibly, not to the point of where, if you need to go to the park at Halloween Horror Nights and alcohol is rampantly served all over the place, it's up to you to be able to know what your limit is. And if your limit is X, and you've hit that limit or gone beyond that limit, and you can't control your own actions, you should probably go home, because we've seen too many people around the parks the last couple of weeks that behavior is really out of control due to the level of alcohol that folks have had. And we all know that bartenders know when the cutoff is for folks, but they're serving people at so fast, they're making a quick judgment, or it's not too hard for other people to buy for their friends. As long as they're of age and they're in line as well, and they're buying a drink, they could certainly hand it off. But you guys need to know that they do have, more than enough security and more than enough of Orlando Police Department all around the park, as well as what we've shown in prior videos as like the drunk jail, where folks get kind of held in the hub before they get processed overnight for acting up while they're intoxicated at the parks. You don't want to be that person to have to ruin something for yourself or something for other folks just because you can't handle your own alcohol. So that's all I had to say, and I apologize for the rant because there's probably a good chunk of folks that are on this channel that watch every day and they're like, well, why would you feel the need to say this? I feel the need to say this because we know so many folks that work in the parks that it's only fair to them to try to represent them. They don't have a voice, you know, and can't necessarily get onto YouTube or to the internet and tell folks themselves as well, and wanted to do the right thing by them to make sure that they're being represented. We love going to the event. Hopefully you guys love going to the event. We get a ton of comments in our videos every day about folks that love to see us go to the event because it allows them to be there while they're not there as well. So let's all enjoy it together. So I thought I'd check in on what Mary and Jesse are doing, and they're actually doing this. Well, something like this. They're making stuffed peppers for dinner. It looks like it's going to be good. And here's the peppers themselves. Behold the majesty. So what exactly do you have going on here?
Onions, peppers, chopped turkey.
Chopped turkey.
Italian
Ooh.
seasoning, garlic.
And rice?
And
coming up?
Going in. A can of basil, garlic, oregano, diced tomatoes.
Oh.
Sauce. Meat sauce.
Oh, okay. In a jar.
In a jar.
And Alexa in the background.
Oh, she turned on.
Say hello, Alexa. Or don't. Alexa, say hello.
Hello.
Oh, there you go. Alright, so this is the final mixture, right?
Yep.
Am I going to just dump it in here?
Yep.
We're putting cheese on here too, or no?
I don't know. Maybe I'll put on a couple of them.
What else do you put on here? Breadcrumbs?
Yeah, I was going to put breadcrumbs on top.
And then what do we do with them?
I'm going to bake them.
That is the finished product. So we got a couple with cheese and one without. And these were cooked at 350 for 20 minutes. Delicious, I think.
With tin foil?
With tin foil, not inside of it. This is what the finished product looks like before it gets in my belly. It's delicious. So since we've been through the house a bunch lately, we're going to watch Freddy vs. Jason. I've seen this a bunch of times. Mary's seen it at least once. Jesse's never seen it. So I'm going to check it out again. So we just watched Freddy vs. Jason. This is the first time that we've watched this in a couple of years. I love this movie. I absolutely love the movie. I love now, after watching the movie, thinking back to the house and how much it translates into the house. And they actually put a lot of detail in the house of Halloween Horror Nights this year. But more important than the Mary scale this time is Jessie's scale, because she hadn't seen it before. And she was, you know, when we watch movies at home, she's primarily preoccupied with texting and Instagram. So that stopped for a good chunk of this movie, and she was sucked in. What did you think?
It was cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you think it works with the house?
It's the house and everything.
Or the movie in a house?
Yeah.
Whatever you mean.
What do you think out of 5?
4.
4 out of 5. Wow. And the Mary scale?
I think it's 4 out of 5 too. I still love the originals.
Yeah. I love these movies. I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. I will watch any of the Friday the 13th movies. To me, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies are a little bit more hit and miss, but I love the Friday the 13th series. I think the overall series more than the overall Halloween series. At least I can remember what happens in each of the movies as opposed to what iteration of Michael Myers did we get in Halloween. And it's funny because as I dug this out, because I haven't looked for this in forever, then I remembered that I own like most of the Friday the 13th movies, so we'll get those going in regular rotation now too, in preparation of Halloween. But on that note, we're going to say goodnight for now, as we've got one cat. We've got 2 cats, and we've got a Mary. Thank you for all of your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. We'll see you guys.